Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and this is VMware certification VCP6 data center virtualization training video. And in this video I am going to show you how to install virtual machine on vSphere or ESX6. So here is my environment. So I am using the same virtual machine which we are using in a few of the previous videos. So the first one is Win2K12 DC01. Here you can verify the server name Win2K12 DC01, my domain name victorinfosol.com, and I have installed the Active Directory and DNS role on this server and done the basic configuration to work as a domain controller environment. So, and the second server is my vCenter 6 server, which is my vCenter server. Basically I have assigned 12 GB RAM to this server and machine is joined in my domain victorinfosol.com. Here you can see vCenter 6 Victor Infosol, and the RAM and other information is given here. So also you can see I have installed vSphere client, vSphere web client on this server. So the next we have three Esx hosts which is running on VMware ESXi 6 version. Here you can see VMware ESXi 6 and ESX01, 02 and 03 as we have in slide here, and our storage and all learn coming from my physical machine, which is Windows Server 2016. And if you go here you can see uh, Starwind is installed, and this is providing the basically storage for my ISCSI learns for my environment, lab environment. So this is all about it, and let's create a virtual machine on first virtual machine on our infrastructure. So uh, uh, you can create a virtual machine either using vSphere web client or vSphere client. So I am going to show you the both way, both option to create a virtual machine. So for the first thing I am going to create from like vSphere client, and here you can see localhost. Use my Windows session credential because I have added my domain account in Windows vCenter authentication as administrator role. So just wait to load it. Download, loading main. So here you can see we have a data center DC India, and we have three ESX hosts and this data center. So the first thing, mm, we require two things to create a first virtual machine. The first thing is storage, where you want to put your virtual machine and all associated files. So, and the second thing is ISO file or image file to install the operating system on your virtual machine. So if you go, you can see we have three storage connected, LANs connected. If you go to configuration, click on storage, you can see we have three LANs, and I'm going to put like if you browse the LAN one for now, browse data store, you can see no folder is created here, and close it. And I have already uploaded few ISO of operating system like Windows Server 2012 28 in my learn size learn 0, which is basically 20 GB. I have created this learn only for putting the ISO file, so size is only 20 GB, you can verify. And I have created one ISO folder here, and I have uploaded few ISO file like Windows Server 2012 R2, Windows Server 2008 R2, and Office 2013 image on this data store. So I want to put my virtual machines file here on learn0. So let's do it. Create a virtual machine. Just select the ESX host. On data store you will also see the new virtual machine tab. Either you can go ahead here and go here. So if you go to create a virtual machine on data center, it will ask the host on which you want to put the virtual machine. So we have two options here, typical and custom. Custom, you can see a create virtual machine with additional device or specific configuration option, and the typical is most common device and configuration option. So if you create a machine by using the typical, it's not a way like you can't customize the settings of the virtual machine after creating the typical virtual machine. You can do the configuration and customization after creating the virtual machine in a typical mode also. So let's do it from my for example in custom mode. Click next. If you select here on custom, you can see the few option is added here. If you go on typical, you can see like CPU memory network is CPU memory is not given in typical mode, so it will automatically predict the like if you select the operating system, it will automatically select the RAM and storage and hard drive size for your virtual machine uh, as per the standard of the operating system. So let's do custom, create next, and type the name of the virtual machine which you want to put. In my case it's Win2K8R2. Click next, and it's asking for a host because I am creating the virtual machine from my data center, so I want to put an ESXi01. Click next, and here you can see it's asking for select the destination storage for the virtual machines file, so I want to use on learn1. Click next, and here you have option for like virtual machine version. If you see here, you can see the virtual machine is like virtual machine version 4. This version will run on ESX3 or later. So we have the virtual machine compatibility for running the like on host. So this version, if you create a virtual machine 9, this will run on VMware 5.1 or later. So in my case, I'm going to create a virtual machine version 11 because in my infra, all the virtual machine is ESX, all the host is running on ESX 6. So if you have some backward compatibility, like if you have host which is running on 5.1, you can go ahead and select here from 5 virtual machine 9. So in my case, I'm going with my virtual machine 10 version. Click next, and here you can see that it's asking for flavor of like Windows, Linux or others. So we have Mac, Sun OS, Micros, Novel NetWare, IBM OS 2, all the few versions here. And if you go with the Linux, you will get the Linux flavors like Red Hat and Debian, CentOS, so Ubuntu, everything, so CentOS. So for now I'm going to select the Windows, and I want to install Windows Server 2008 R2 here. So select it and click next. It will ask it's asking for CPU, like I want to do it like 4 virtual CPU and 2 virtual socket pairs. So but it's depend on machine, on host which you are deploying the virtual machine. Like in my case, I have in my machine I have a number of processor 2 and number of core 6, so I'm getting the option either you will not receive it, like maximum count I can give. Okay, so this is the all about selecting the CPU. So click next, and memory, you have the option for memory. You can maximize, minimize as per your requirement. So I'm going with the 2 GB of RAM for this virtual machine. Click next. So I have not added any network for now on ESX Host. We have a separate lab for this, and then we will migrate all the virtual machine on different network which we have created or deployed by distributed switches and VMware. So no network for now. Click next, and here is asking for controller, so go with the default one, LSI logic SAS. Okay, so create a virtual disk, or you can add existing virtual disk. Do not create disk, you have option. So I'm going with the create a new virtual disk, and it's asking for the size. You can go ahead and customize the size as per your requirement. And we have disk provisioning. VMware support 3 types of disk provisioning, which is given here. If you want to more detail, just go and do some Google or go to VMware. You got the idea about the disk provisioning. So basically this is something like uh, you're creating the 30 GB drive for now, and it's going to take a space on your data store for now, or it will dynamically expandable. So these are the options. So but in production environment, it's always recommended to create a like full size of disk for when creating in the virtual disk. Like if you are creating the 30 GB drive, then allocate the drive space, a disk drive space or disk space on a LUN for on the exact same time, so you are not going to do any overcommitment for the data store size. So click next, and we have a virtual SAS device. You can select as per your requirement, so I'm going with the default one. And we have this option here. If you click on edit the virtual machine setting before completion, click continue. So it will give you the option to modify the settings after creating this. Also, like I don't want to add the floppy drive, so click on remove. On a CD drive, I want to mount my ISO image here, so go on image and select the ISO file which you want to select, 2008 R2, and seems everything good. Just click here on connect or power on and click on finish. So now you can see it's creating the virtual machine, and virtual machine has been created. If you select the virtual machine, you can see two LUNs are mapped here because we are using the ISO file from LUN 1, LUN 0, and our hard drive is stored in LUN 1. So here it is, and if you browse LUN 1 now, you can see we have created one virtual machine deployment of virtual machine, created one folder, and we have like hard drive file, VMX file, which is holding the configuration for this ESX virtual machine on Esx host. So click on machine and go ahead and console, connect to console, and just power on the machine. Now you can see the Windows is loading. So starting Windows. So Windows Server 2008 auto installation. Click next and click on install now. Setup is starting. Just wait for a few seconds. So select the version which you want to install. So I want to install like standard, so just browse for it. So we have server SBS standard. Browse for a few more options, so you will get the standard edition. So here we have Windows Server 2008 auto standard server standard, so click next. So Microsoft Windows Server 2008 auto standard, I accept the license agreement, license term, click next, and custom, and you will get the hard drive which is allocated at the time of virtual machine creation. So click next, and if you required, you do the partition as per your requirement. Either you can just select the your primary disk and click next to deploy the operating system. So this will install the operating system, and so for now we have successfully deployed the uh, virtual machine in my first ESX host. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any question, any query related to this, please post me on my Giveaway ID. Thank you once again. Bye bye.